and then he kept it under his fold again. So he started vigorously marketing the sucralose along with aspartame to every part of the world. There's an Indian company which is in Gujarat who market all these things right from the time these products were introduced in the world market until today. Very, very dangerous to the human health. For example, I can tell you the aspartame alone has nearly about 96 side effects, including damaging your vision by destroying your photoreceptor cells in the retina, proving how they are bad to us. And another important stuff is, if you are used to sugar, in the sense like we are all born from the childhood, from the day we are born.
Hello and welcome to Dr. C.K.Nandagopalan YouTube channel. I'm your host Susanna. Sir, why have you chosen sugar to work with? We have so many artificial sweeteners that are there already in the world. Don't you think these artificial sweeteners solve all the problems? Why do you need a sugar that is low in glycemic index?
Yeah, this is a question which has a lot of answer to it, and there are only predominantly 3 artificial sweeteners are there in the market today. One is aspartame, other is sucralose, the third one is stevia. So let us talk about aspartame. In 1964-65, there was a research going on in Chicago University in America. They were trying to find medicine for the ulcer part of the stomach. So when they were working on that, and they found a mixture of 2 amino acids giving a sweetish taste. So this was the an accidental finding. They thought that this can be used as a artificial sweetener with respect to replace sugar. So they pulled out this concept, and then they marketed this, looking around for someone to buy the technology. So an American businessman, who I don't want to name him, who bought this technology, and he went on to produce this to see the trials in human, and it went on and on. So they found this was causing a lot of problem, because methanol is always not good for us. Methanol is never good for us, you know that. So this is 2 methyl group of acids, these 2 powders, when it's mixed in a particular proportion. So what happens is, actually the recent research in the last 10-15 years, they found that aspartame in the blood can get converted to methanol at 85 Fahrenheit. So methanol can disturb our neuron cells, nerve cells. So they found a lot of problems, including cancer and so on. And in 1975, they asked FDA to give approval for this. He's a big businessman with his clout, but FDA did not approve this. Then by the time he invested a lot of money in 1980, Ronald Reagan came into power. At that time, this businessman stood in one of the constituencies in America in 1980 election and became the senator. And then his friend, his businessman friend, who had become the chairman of FDA in 1980-81, and then he immediately jumped on it and got the approval and started marketing this in a big way. So you know what it is behind the scene. And then all these things are there in the net. If you can go and put history of artificial sweetness, you'll find all these stories. Of course, I'm picking up from the net and talking to you all this. Then in 1984, the Royal College of King in UK, United Kingdom, found sucralose. Sucrose is C12H22O11. They added 3 atoms of chloride, and That then it become C12H19, Cl3 and O8. It becomes 397 molar mass. This has become nearly about 600 to 1000 times sweeter than sugar. That's how sucralose was born. They named it as, instead of sucrose, the chemical name for sugar, they named it as sucralose. So the same businessman, by the time, who was, ruling the world with this aspartame in many brand names, many trade names, who bought this technology from the UK authorities or whatever, the university. And then he kept it under his fold again. So he started vigorously marketing the sucralose along with aspartame to every part of the world. There's an Indian company which is in Gujarat who market all these things right from the time these products were introduced in the world market until today. Then came the stevia later in early 90s, and it's called the molecule of steviol. It's from a plant from Latin America, which is sweetish in taste, and then that was converted to artificial sweetener by the extraction of this plant. And they started cultivating this sugar plant in many parts of the world very slowly. But this businessman who was holding aspartame and sucralose could manage to hold stevia from getting it sold to the world market by making many of the governments putting stay for it. He had the clout to do it politically. And he was also the Minister for Defense in the American government when George W. Bush was ruling for 8 years. So he had the clout. Till 2009 he could block it. After that, the stevia came into the market in a big way. And stevia has a molar mass of 804. Anything beyond 200 molar mass, molecular weight, our metabolism cannot break it. So both aspartame is around 294 to 297, sucralose is around 390 plus, and stevia is 804. All three of them, they have no calorie value, they are only sweetish to the tongue. And many research have been made in the last 20 years and beyond, and they have proved all these artificial sweetness are very, very dangerous to the human health. For example, I can tell you the aspartame alone has nearly about 96 side effects, including damaging your vision by destroying your photoreceptor cells in the retina. And these artificial sweeteners are, in spite of so much of research has been given, outcomes have been given, the FDA and other medical authorities are not bothered to curb them. They allow people to sell them. So many kind of research works which is proving that some of the components which are sold widely in the world are very injurious to the human population. These research findings are not given importance at all. The money plays the role, the money wins the game. All these three artificial sweeteners are not good enough. You can go through the net. Effect of artificial sweetness, you can put it in the Google and read for yourself. There's so much of abundance of research papers are available proving how they are bad to us. And another important stuff is, if you are used to sugar, in the sense like we are all born from the childhood, from the day we are born, within a matter of few weeks we start consuming sugar. When you are used to sugar, you're conditioned to sugar over a span of time of 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. Suddenly when you're declared diabetic, and then the diabetic medical personnel turn around, or the food and nutrition guy turn around and say stay away from sugar and sugar related products, it's not going to be that easy psychologically, number one. Number two, physiologically it is not supposed to be done. It's very simple. You must eat sugar. Sugar is the instant energy to the human body. Sugar is the instant energy to the human brain. Sugar has to go in. 30 to 40 grams of sugar per day should go in. Accordingly, you take your medicines on the higher side to control your blood sugar. but keeping you away from sugar, it's not going to help you. It's going to make you very tired. That's why you see the diabetic individuals are going very tired in the afternoon and in the evening. Most of them go very tired in the evening. Some of them even go tired after afternoon. So because that suddenly the sugar intake is abruptly cut off. The human genome, the human gene patterns, the human cellular function and everything, when they are conditioned, they memorize everything. And if there is going to be an intake of a particular component from your childhood, and they are working based on that, which has to go on and on, you're not supposed to stop sugar. So artificial sweetness, you must have, every one of us can think that it has replaced the sugar. No, never. It is being sold. It is being sold. It is being pushed. I would say it is being pushed with a wrong propaganda by even the medical communities to keep you away from sugar. It should not. It's high time that you guys go and study for yourself in the net about the history of these artificial sweetness, and then the back effect of this with effect of this artificial sweetness, and still how it is being sold with the clout of the business world, and none of us have awareness on that. So realizing all these things, I thought that sugar should be made into diabetic friendly. So what if the modern science cannot do it? And I turned around to save people from artificial sweetness. I did this innovation and I was successful in delivering this to the people with all kinds of safety norms. This is the answer to your question. Back to you, Susan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for throwing light on the harsh truth and the health hazards caused by artificial sweeteners. I know many old people, not only old people, but even health freaks want to alternate sugar with artificial sweeteners. So now you have told them the truth about the artificial sweeteners, and hope it helps many people, our subscribers. Thank you. Watch us and subscribe to us. Thank you.